Good morning, it's Janet here from her kitchen in sunny Worcestershire. Not quite so sunny today, if I'm honest, but we're not sorry about that. We've had some very high temperatures this last week and we're glad of a day where it's a bit cloudy and a bit cooler. So today for lunch I am going to make a favourite soup of mine which I've never seen written down other than on the back of a carton of soup that I bought many years ago. And because I liked it so much, I looked at the ingredients and thought, I wonder if I can create that myself. It wasn't really clear on the packet exactly how much of anything, so I had to guess that. And over the years I have recreated it, sometimes with something else added, and you will probably be able to do the same or do the same already. It's a butternut squash and red pepper soup. Very tasty, and the secret ingredients are the ones that give it its flavour. So I'm just going to show you what I use. First of all, some good old olive oil, a medium-sized butternut squash, 2 red bell peppers, 2, these are fairly small, red onions, a garlic clove, a small chilli, 1 teaspoon of coriander, 2 teaspoons of cumin, and 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. I've also added, and this is a new addition, so first time I've tried this, is my new friend, red lentils. Now, to make it a bit more hearty, to give it some protein and more fibre, I'm adding 200 grams of this. And I also wanted to talk to you about this bouillon that I bought. It's suitable for vegans, and if you look on the back, almost everything is identifiable. There are no chemistry lessons here. It's all basic ingredients and quick and easy to use. So that's what I'm using today, but you could use any stock. I mean, I've used chicken stock in the past, which is also good as well. I'm going to start by showing you how I cope with the butternut squash. I think that's probably all I need to show you, but if you've not used it before, I have a little method which I think makes it a bit easier. Okay, now we're going to tackle the butternut squash. I usually take the top off and the bottom, and then cut it across the middle. Bit tough. And then I go down the sides, just taking the tough skin off. The top section is solid, but the bottom section has seeds inside, so get rid of the skin. And then I'm going to cut through so you can see. We end up with 2 sections like this, and I've got a spoon with a fairly sharp end to it, and I just gouge it out. Most of it comes out reasonably well. Bit of a messy job. Here we go. We are both halves of the lower part of the squash sorted. And now we just cut it up into about 2 or 3 centimetre or 1 inch chunks. There we go. All chopped up and ready to go. Now, this next step is not essential. But to get a bit of improved flavour, you can put your vegetables in the oven to roast for about 30 minutes and it enhances the flavour, I'm told. I usually do it this way if I've got time. If you haven't, then it's straight in the pot with the liquid, and I'll talk about that later. So butternut squash, carrots, spread about, 2 bell peppers, and a slurp of olive oil. We'll mix around. See if you can get a coating. You probably need to go back to this halfway through the cooking to spread it around and make sure that there's oil on all the bits. There we go. And then salt. Not too much because I'm adding some garlic salt later. Pepper. And again, you don't need to overdo that. And then it's into the oven for 30 minutes. Now I've just got the veg out of the oven. It's all softened up. I wish you could smell the kitchen at the moment. Full of lovely aromas. This is ready to go in the pot, but before I do that, I just want to fry off the spices. Now I'm just going to put the cumin and the coriander into a little oil and stir it around a bit. And within a minute or so, you release the wonderful smells of those spices. Just let it cook just a bit. Now I'm going to add the chopped garlic, the chopped red chilli, and the garlic salt. Stir them around for a few moments before we add the other ingredients. Now I need to ask you, did you spot the deliberate mistake? I'm going to turn and look at you. Did you spot the deliberate mistake earlier? When I was putting the onions in, I called them carrots. Senior moment, I suspect, but hopefully it won't have done too much damage. Okay, now I'm going to put in the liquid. There's a litre of stock at the moment, but I suspect I shall need more than that. We'll see. And in go the vegetables. All nicely softened. Now, this is the first time that I've put in red lentils, so I suspect that this is going to get quite thick. I'm going to have another jug of stock at the ready, but to start with, I'm going to bring this up to the boil and let it cook for 15 minutes. Lid on. Now the soup's been bubbling away nicely for 15 minutes, and now it's ready for the 200 grams of lentils going in. And I'm going to add half a litre more. So that's 1.5 litres of stock that's gone in so far. You stir it around and cook it for another 15 minutes. Now the soup mixture has had a 30-minute cooking time in all. everything's as it should be. It is a little bit on the thick side with the lentils, so I'm going to add the rest of the stock that I prepared. That means that I will have put in 2 litres, and I think that's going to be about right. Don't want it too thick. I'm just going to bring that up to the boil. And let it cook for 1 or 2 more minutes. Now, I've just brought the pot of soup over here. I'm going to let it cool for 2 or 3 minutes. It's too hot to safely use at the moment, and then I shall come back and put it in my blender. Suffice it to say that you need to be careful with the hot liquid, and you'll have to do it in batches. The reason I'm using the blender rather than a stick blender is that you get a smoother soup doing it this way. And I'm pouring it into another saucepan here. Next lot in until you've blended everything. This is the last batch, 4 loads in this blender. And now I have another secret ingredient, which I'm going to share with you. This is something that I like to use in quite a lot. Oh, it is up the right way. A reduced fat soft cheese with garlic and herbs. I put it in my fajitas. That was in my last video. I often put it in sandwiches instead of butter, and I also add it to soups when it's appropriate. About 50 grams just dropped in, and it will melt quite quickly. And stir it around, blend it in, and it just adds a more flavour and an added thickness. Not essential, but it's a nice thing to do. Now, this is ready. Before we do anything, we'll just taste it. Quite spicy. If you like cumin and coriander, that's fine. If you're not so keen, then reduce the amounts, but you do need some of that to give it hidden depths. Then I'm going to spoon it into the plate, ready. And I need to say to you that this will do for everyday soup, but you can bring it up a notch by doing a swirl of cream or sour cream on the top, and a few little coriander leaves to top it off. I do hope you're going to try this. It's very tasty and good to eat, and with added protein. What could go wrong? Nice to see you. If you've enjoyed this video, please send me a like, nice comment, and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you again very soon. This soup can be heated up later today if you were having a dinner party, and is easy to serve. It can be kept in the fridge once it's cooled for 2 or 3 days, or you could portion it and put it into the freezer, and it'll keep there quite safely for a few weeks. So all in all, a very good soup.